Thank you for joining us on Citizen 93.7, and this is Insight. My name is Lawrence Umoette. With about 6 months before the general elections in 2023, the race for various offices in the country is getting stiffer. The political parties are firming up processes and structures. The heat is getting fiercer. Just like in a marathon race, many actors are tiring out. The serious contenders are gradually being separated from the pretenders. While the major political parties are muscling their way through, others are trying to keep pace. Pundits who had initially predicted a two-horse race in the election have reconsidered their postulations. The arrival of the Peter Obi-inspired Labour Party and the Rabiu Kwankwaso-powered New Nigeria People's Party made lots of pundits reconsider their earlier positions. But the initial frenzy that heralded the NNPP seems to be losing ebb. And this may be worrying to some, especially the party members. On Insight today, our searchlight is on the New Nigeria People's Party. And our guest is the national chairman of the party, Professor Rufai Alkali. He will be taking questions and talking to us on what exactly is happening to the NNPP. Is it gradually losing steam, or is it working on something to come out with a boom? Whatever it is, Professor Rufai Alkali will be in the studio any moment from now to answer our questions. And so that will be the scope of the program. We will take a short break, and when we resume, the program will kick off in full swing. You can be part of this program by joining us on our live stream. You can type in Insight on Citizen FM 93.7, and you will be part of the program. Please don't go away. Insight will return in a moment.
Yes, we have heard.
Police is your friend.
These days, the police say,
now we protect with courage and serve with compassion.
Hi, my name is Kemi Ashiko. Join me every Wednesday morning at 9:05 a.m. on Citizen FM 93.7 for Police and Citizens, an opportunity for citizens to interface with the members of the police force. Your suggestions, commendations, comments, and complaints will be taken on the show. Do make it a date. Every Wednesday morning, 9:05 a.m. Police and Citizens is the show. Don't miss it.
Once upon a time, for one village where they for air, everything they go well. Them they enjoy better things until them great grandpillar them tell them say he get one secret where they for inside calabash, for inside bush. Elders them gather, them send them ezemo into bush, impact in ngongo and then janja take inside bush. When you see the calabash, where them papa hide for inside bush. Time to open the calabash. Is a more hard than knack. Last, him open the calabash. What's in me the secret where he comes in?
As we bring them out, Abuja how far? Hashtag man up, tab yarns, mind your language. That's here, and the plenty casual bitterness mixed with correct Naija song. Now them be inside Evening Your Love with SMO1 Radio Street Breeze for 93.7 Citizen FM Abuja. Flex Evening Your Love, Monday to Friday from 5 o'clock for evening, go reach 9 o'clock for night. Evening Your Love with SMO1 for 93.7 Citizen FM.
Abuja, you are listening to 93.7 Citizen FM, the latest radio station based in Nigeria's capital. Our station seeks to broadcast a broad mix of culture and views with priority given to development programming to enable residents share ideas and opinions, music and drama. At Citizen FM, we believe in progressive talk and solution-driven conversation. Our aim is to build a united Nigeria by bringing people of diverse culture together through communication. Enjoy listening to 93.7 Citizen FM. We are more than just a radio station. We are a part of your life.
Thank you for staying tuned. It's still Insights on Citizen FM 93.7. My name is Lawrence Umoette, and we're still expecting Professor Alkali is in the neighborhood, according to him. He will be here very soon. But I have my colleague here, my sparring partner, so to speak, Kemi Ashoku. Kemi, welcome to Insight.
Thank you very much, Lawrence. It's a pleasure to be here with you on Insight again after so many weeks. We've done this before at least once.
Yes, Kemi, and we are discussing the political parties, the other political parties in a lot of our listeners have accused me, especially, of beaming the searchlight only on APC and PDP. And today we are talking to the national chairman of the NNPP, and that's the other political party. Another other political party is the Labour Party, which we will feature very soon. But Kemi, immediately after the 2019 election, ahead of this current dispensation, the discussion was it's going to be a two-horse race, PDP, APC. A lot of pundits did not figure in that one or two others would try to squeeze into that race. But it does seem as that is beginning to change, at least from what we've seen in the social media and maybe in the media generally. Do you still think it's a two-horse race?
Well, I would not say that it's a two-horse race per se. I would say that considering the fact that besides the PDP and the APC, we have at least 10 other parties in, and it's because I don't have my hands on the figures that I don't want. I know at some point there were 30. I think at some point they were streamlined to 18. They were streamlined to 18. So I didn't know it's still at 18. I think that it's sad that in this age and time we're still looking at it as two-horse races, but one thing that you must commend parties like the NNPP and the Labour Party for is the fact that they have been able to at least show that there is the possibility of having a four-legged table, in Nigeria, out of the 18 political parties we have. And it's a good thing that we now have at least some people can decide that we can have other options. In states like Ekiti, we had the SDP, do differently. Because the SDP was the was the third force in Ekiti State, for example, and they did garner more votes. They did garner more votes than even the PDP, which is one of the parties that people used to think is the two big parties. So that says that with the growth of our democracy, we would actually start to have a situation where we can have other parties and people can now decide to pick candidates as against parties. So for me, I see a new dawn in our democracy. What the NNPP is doing is very commendable. What the Labour Party is doing is very commendable. Whether they would garner votes in 2023 with regards to the presidential elections is another, it's another discussion entirely. But the fact that now people know that there are other options, for me, that's what is important.
Okay, Kemi, a lot of people will also say, yes, what you're saying is valid, but if you look at these two political parties that you've mentioned, Labour Party and the NNPP, they revolve around personalities. People, former governor of Anambra said Peter Obi is synonymous with Labour Party. Alhaji Rabiu Kwankwaso is synonymous with NNPP. Would the Labour Party be the Labour Party if Peter Obi is no longer in the equation of that party?
Parties make people, people make parties. It works both ways. If you would recall, back in the days, parties like the ACN, had the Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the person the party revolved around. At the time when the election for the AC was lost in all the other states, and Lagos was the only ACN state left. Asiwaju was whom the entire party revolved around. The question I would pay more attention to is, will they have the patience it takes, willy-nilly, whether they win the elections or not, to continue to grow these parties to eventually become a force to reckon with? That is a question for another day. That's what I cannot answer for today. But what I do know is, yes, people make parties, parties make people, but they will need some patience, to be able to grow them. Because what we have in most of the parties we have in Nigeria, and why it seems as if many of them are comatose, is the fact that many of them, once the election is over, go to sleep.
Okay, or in the alternative, Kemi, maybe it would have been better if the 16 other political parties, so to speak, or maybe let's just leave out Labour and NNPP, the 14 other political parties would rather not dissipate energy in winning the presidential election and concentrate on other elections, the state governors election, the state house of assembly, and some others?
Quite honestly, I totally agree with you. I think that politics and elections should not be seen as 100-meter dashes. They should be seen as marathons. Either whether you win the elections or not. I think that many of our parties are very ambitious. And you can be ambitious, that's not a problem. But you should plan towards the ambition you have so that it's a strategic ambitious nature. You're going towards what you want strategically. And to be strategic, you want to ensure that maybe in this constituency, for example, you say maybe the ADP or the ADC or the SDP decides that, because since I said, if you recall earlier, I did say that parties revolve around people revolve around parties, you can decide that in this constituency, for example, in this senatorial district, right, we would be winning the Senate for this party. We would ensure that we deliver the House of Representatives for this party. We would ensure that we deliver the House of Assembly, for this particular party, right? There, of course, must be some people, within that community that the community can revolve around, and so people just need to understand that growth is a gradual process. It's not a one-way street. It's not something that can happen, at the snap of a finger. It's something that you must be consistent towards. So if all you do this time around is win the local government and the councillorship, and you start to grow and you work towards winning the House of Assembly, winning the House of Representatives and the Senate, then you know that you're working towards something. Unfortunately, what we have is the kind of politics that the winner takes all. And so many people will say, oh, let me just go to the winning party. And then you have a lot of people who are not patient enough to want to see something grow. Which is one of the reasons why a person like me, I always advocate that we should send more young people to the farm so that they see that growth takes a process and it takes some time.
Maybe another issue that we should perhaps look at why this is rampant is taking a look at even how political parties are formed in Nigeria. Even our laws, our legislations encourage political parties that are national in outlook. You must have offices across the state. You must have a presence in the federal capital. If it was possible what if I decide that in my community we just want to have a political party that is just interested in the local government and issues in the local government? We are not interested in coming to the center. But today, you'll be registered if you don't have a national outlook. Well,
that would now take us back to places like INEC. That would take us back to organizations like INEC. That will take us back to revisiting some of these issues. Do we have Nigerians who are ready to come out to discuss these things, to say no? Because when you have a situation where possibly the local government chairman is not from the same party as the governor, you will have a more robust democracy, because it will not be, everything the governor says, yes, sir, yes, sir. You won't have a situation where the governor says, at the end of this month, this is the money coming to the local government. All of you submit it first and I determine what you get.
Yes,
So yes, I do agree that we need that kind of, it's part of the reasons why I think the 18 political parties were encouraged, but they say that it's the child that lifts off his hand that the parents will carry. So I think that even as a people, as political parties, these people also need to do better. We have politicians crossing from one place to another. You don't have the politics of ideology anymore, that I'm in this party because I believe in the ideology of this party, But then I see that your guest is here, and I want to say thank you for this then. So I know that you will continue with the NNPP chairman, and all the best with insights.
Thank you so much, Kemi, for standing in as Professor Rabi Alkali walks into this studio. Thank you. So inside, we'll take a short break. We will be back after this commercial. Please don't go away.